We are in Milwaukee this week for the Grand National Series. The old ARCA cars we tied for pole, but must have ran just a hair slower. We got the outside here. Got 26, 27 cars for 80 laps. It looks like we will need to pit. Try a second gear start is probably not the smartest. Not too bad.
Good job, the next car is the leader. You got one inside. Stay high. Clear low, clear low.
Track temp has gone down a little bit from qualifying, but is warmer than practice.
Still there, hold your line. Stay high. Clear low, clear low. Outside. Still there.
That curb is a little tricky sometimes. Really can upset the car.
Still there.
It's pretty slick in practice.
Stay high. Stay high. There's the car on the low side. Still there. Hold your line. There you go, man. You're now the leader. Still there. Hold your line.
Be careful, the right side of the car too, it likes to hook the wall.
Stay high. There's the car on the low side. Stay high. Good job. The next car is the leader. All clear, all clear. The car is C3, just at the top of the lap. 30.916.
Turn 4 much easier to get out of, I think, than turn 2 right now. I don't know if it's the wind or just the track. Usually turn 4 is a little easier. There's a dip out of the corner. Turn 2 just, I don't know if it's because you'd think the concrete would be a little more grippy than the asphalt. That transition car usually gets upset.
The leader just did a 30.99.
I don't know if this track got a refresh or not. I can't remember. I don't remember it being this high quality, I guess. Maybe it did. It might have got a refresh. Wouldn't think so, though. I think only maybe the trucks come here. I don't even know now.
The leader just did a 31.574. Fueling up now should get us to the finish.
Get too low and you run into the bumps on the curbing. I feel like the curbing kind of helps upset the left side of the car, and the rear allows it to get a little turn out of it. In turn 1 and 2, not so much 3 and 4. 3 and 4, you get that dip right on the paved apron part that you really just gotta accelerate out of that bump, or into it, I guess. And then try not to slip the wheels all the way off exit. Bump starts right here. And as soon as you can, as quick as you can put the power down without slipping tires, that's what you want on turn 4. Kind of a, not as severe of a bump, but more of a tightening of the radius out of 2, which really can't mash the gas because you got to get rotation, but straightaways are kind of long, so any amount of throttle time with this car really adds up down the straightaway. Trying to straddle the curb on entry into 1, and I've been missing it. Not get on the curb though when you go to accelerate.
The leader just did a 31.6.
Time I got way down there. It's the whole car grip. Yeah, I gotta stay off that curb.
The leader just did a 31.727.
Slid the rear there. I think the only way by is to really set up a way better exit. We have not been getting
The leader just did a
that.
31.91.
We get a better entry, but then compromise our exit because of our entry. And that wall sticks out further than you think. Well, it's the car, but feels like the wall just reaches out and grabs you. Kevin may have hit. Kind of frees us up. We can, I think, figure out a way, or we can put in some attempts to pass without risk of, well, or Kane's gonna come into the pits and we're gonna inherit the lead.
The leader is hitting now. Alright, you're back in first.
I think we just stay out as long as we can and see what happens with the tires. They lost a lap. I don't think they took 4.
The car in front is pitting.
We'll set up to take right side only.
Got one outside. Still there? Hold your line. You're clear high, clear high.
See, they're about 5 seconds ahead. Once their lap times fall off, should be about a second a lap faster on new tires. Or a little over a second a lap fall off. 1.2. We'll come in 45.
Pit boxing 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
That was a slow entry.
That's it, go. Just a heads up, you know that you only have one set of right side tires remaining.
Pretty grippy already, I can tell on the apron. See if we can figure out what those right side were after we get by Jake here.
The leader is hitting now. Got one outside. Stay low. All clear, all clear.
Okay, take a look. 80, 84 on those.
33 has taken the lead.
250 almost on the heat on the right front and 225 on the rear. I really think tire heat is more important than tire wear, especially on flat tracks. At South Boston and North Wilkesboro, we did pretty well when our tires were less than about 235 and still going pretty strong. So it's really just take care of tire heat and the tires will take care of you. At least that's the premise. Let's see if that plays out.
Good job, man. You're up the bit. Got one outside. The car behind you is pitching. All clear, all clear. The leader just did a 32.682. The leader is pitting now. Good job, man. You're up to 4. The car behind you is pitching.
I think I could go a little more front brake bias to make a pass.
Second car is the leader is pitting now. The car behind you is pitching. Got one outside. You're in 3rd place. Still there. All clear, all clear. Next car is the leader. You're back in 2nd.
How close did we get without touching?
Got one outside.
It's
Stay low.
deceiving how short the nose is on some cars and how long it is on others.
Still there. Alright, man. You're back in 1st. You're clear high. Clear high.
I feel like the Silver Crown at times you're right up somebody's bumper and you don't, or no, that car's backwards. That car feels like you're way far away and you're hitting them. This car you can get so close. Might be too because the nose is a wedge. It might have been underneath the rear bumper, not like because they're square or because they're not square.
Keep digging. Have a slow car on the bottom. Go high.
And I get asked quite a bit because I'm fairly decent at these flat tracks what the key is. I wish I knew how to describe it. It's just I think a big key, well, one is tire heat, but how do you keep your tire heat down on a flat track? And really, I think it just comes down to limiting wheel input. You know, you try to get the car rotated with a little bit of wheel and then just hammer the brake. You know, you do quite a lot of brake really quickly to get the car to pitch. And then it's just kind of steering the car more with the rear tires than it is the front. And then this car is not so bad, but it's once you make it to the center of the corner, then it's keeping enough throttle to get a run off, but not too much that you're going to burn the rear tires up or heat them up. And it just, I think it just takes laps, really. I think there's no better way to learn than just old set of tires. Like, run a set of tires until they fall off, basically. And if you can run pretty well on used tires on a flat track, you know, you just take that same sort of finesse, I guess, into new tires, and you'll be quick on new tires too. But it's really just managing the tires as much as you can, limiting, you know, wheel input, anything that would generate heat. And trying to use the pitch of the car to set up the turn in, the brakes, everything to try to get the car to turn rather than turning the wheels to turn the car. And then it's little things like finding the curb or finding where the car wants to turn, where it can turn, especially on the flat tracks. Any little deviations in the surface really help. So like getting on the apron can help on some tracks. This bump, for instance, like making sure you use that bump to the fullest. You know, in turn one here, trying to get down over this curb here is probably a key too. But it's finding those little nuances on every track, I guess. To help the car turn a little bit, you know, every little bit helps. Especially when you got a long run and you need your tires to last. Making sure you can save the tire, or you learn how you can save the tire. That's probably where a lot of my speed comes from on flat tracks. To me, it just comes naturally, but trying to figure out where people are not getting the same, you know, concepts, or what are they missing. That's hard for me to figure out, because watching back, you know, it's hard for me to watch film and see where somebody's not doing what I'm doing. Looks like we had smoke. Might still have smoke. Or it's dust. I don't see anybody down the pits. And another thing is probably like change in the way you apex the corner. Like later in the run, actually, this whole run for the most part has been kind of like a double apex. Especially turn 1 and 2 is not completely symmetrical, so the turn 2 cuts in a little bit. But it's, you know, you can attack the corners differently too. You can do an early entry or early apex, you can do a late apex, and that can vary, you know, that point can vary pretty far throughout the corner, so it's,
We have 10 to go this time by.
there's not like one key. I think it's a lot of little keys and trying to piece together the puzzle. Well, maybe this track didn't get a track refresh. That grass doesn't look like the new grass. Actually, I don't think it did because it would have 3D fencing. Might have been just the lighting that made it look so much better.
Five laps to go. We're in a podium position.
Oh, one to go. And it looks like I think Gavin's finished behind us the last 2 races. So this will be the 3rd race. 1-2.
Got about 5 laps.
But good race to both Gavin and Shane. It was a battle. It wasn't just me running away, which is good. Hopefully we
Night dinner's on me.
have a similar battle tomorrow night. We'll be at another flat track, New Hampshire, with Gen 4s. But yeah, next week is Gateway, which I've never raced there in a stock car, so that'll be fun to do. And I think each one of us led a fair amount of laps. I don't know if Gavin actually led laps as the leader, but as laps of part of the 3 of us, it was pretty split. Shane had the early portion, Gavin that middle portion, and us at the end. Now my foot is cramping up. But yeah, next week be at Gateway in these cars, but tomorrow night we'll be in New Hampshire. So yeah, thanks for watching.